What's up, YouTube? This is the Federation here, back with another Rome 2 battle. This is going to be Rome versus Egypt, and I have, in a way, kind of sold my soul to the current meta. I've given in, and that is because I should mention I'm playing a quick battle right now. I've given up on multiplayer battles. They're just not the most of the higher quality players don't go through those, so I thought I would try to find some players who might be a little more interesting to play against, and so that's why I'm in quick battles. But yeah, so I've given in to the current meta of lots of infantry, and so actually while making this build I was looking at it like, why do I have so few infantry? And then I was like, I actually have 11 infantry. So yeah, that's I'm still really not a fan of infantry heavy being the current meta. I still maintain that it really doesn't take that much micro to win with infantry heavy, and that it makes it more about the build than it even was in the past when it was a meta of horse archers and shock cav. I think then you had to manage your units a little more, get the right kind of charges, pay attention all the time. Now you just have to, I mean, yeah, you still have to interrupt the other person's charges and do that kind of stuff, but if you bring, you know, the Iceni swords against Boii swords or anything like that, you're just not going to win, and it doesn't matter how well you manage. Obviously, to a point, like if you're excellent and your opponent's never played before, you'll win. But you know where I'm coming from. In general, I think that there's much too much emphasis on just bringing a ton of swords, and I think that's a shame. But anyways, not really any choice, and good, interesting move by my opponent here with the Egyptian cav. I actually really didn't see that coming, so kudos to him. Anyways, it looks like he's got these Thurios spears, so that's going to be something I'm going to want to engage with my Hastati. And then bring up my main line right in behind, and I'm actually going to shift my main line over here as my Hastati die. Change the angle of this a little bit just to make sure these two fights stay separate. I will win them each if they're one-on-one, but if any funny business goes down, who knows whether or not I'd win. So just gonna try to make sure that I keep the fights as separate as possible, and these should go in my favor fairly easily.
Our hidden units have been discovered.
Let's actually leave one. That's too much of a downhill to leave a unit. My opponent really has a pretty massive hill advantage here, so I'm going to take my own hill advantage over here. And it doesn't look like he wants to come out to it, so he's just pretty content to hold his position, it looks like. Fine with me. I'm going to skirmish him down a little bit then. After my Hastati have engaged. Probably rushed in my Hastati a little bit too quickly. But oh well, nothing I can do about that now.
Our men flee the field of
I'm going to work this unit around to help out with killing the Galatian swords. So let's form these guys up to shoot. And those guys should be fine there, even if they get charged due to a lack of micro, they should win that fight. My Saucy Equites win that fight pretty handily. I was about to say extraordinary, but they are not the extraordinary. Take these guys off fire wheel. Don't want them wasting ammo yet. Would like to use this ammo wisely since I don't have too terribly much of it. And he's going to try to take out my skirmishers, I do believe. And I've left my general well behind, as I have been known to do. That is, I would say, my most common micro mistake is forgetting I have a general, especially when I play as Rome. So let's interrupt his charges. And let's deny him access to my skirmishers. So we're going to get a nice charge here. He will not get a charge. And these archers are going to have to do something to get in a good position. Let's come over here and use my general over here.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And Velites are going to fire through. And his Tallmate Cav are going to do a nice little job wriggling free, and he is going to go for the back charge, which is bad news for me. But I can pin his Tallmate Cav there, so hopefully we can minimize the negative effect of this and
Our general is under attack.
rectify the situation. I'm actually not sure having my general there is going to be the best thing to do, but I'll leave it how it is for now, actually. I was considering just firing away with skirmishers instead, but I'm going to see how this goes for me. Let's get my Velites to fire in the back of this Egyptian Cav. Fire at that Thuria Spear here. Now that I have these two Equites free, they should be able to do a good amount of damage. Not sure why I retreated quite that far. Wait, let's actually get their infantry coming here. And this Cav around here.
One of our units has used all its ammunition.
And let's get a rear charge on his general. Since these Thurio Spears have their back turned, this should be pretty deadly, this missile fire here, and indeed it is. Absolutely wiping them out. So my general can now pull out of this fight. He's done his job. Tallmate Cav are basically gone. To the point where I can just turn around like so. And then these range units can now fire in the back of these thorax swords, hopefully to some pretty good effect. And pull out of these fights again, get another set of charges off. And this should just be about grinding down my opponent at this stage. I think I should have this battle. Although I have been known to be wrong before. Back charge on the Thurio Spears, and back charge over here. And I guess the Tallmate Cav wasn't his general. I don't know if I said it was, but I know I was thinking in my head that it was his general. So if I did say that it was aloud, clearly I was wrong. I don't know why I thought it was. And that should be good night for that unit. And the Tallmate Cav is gone, and hopefully we should be able to kind of roll in from this flank now. Bring these skirmishers over here so we can get a good angle.
Turning in our favor.
And so, probably called a good game, and indeed he has. By the way, pretty clever name by my opponent, I must say. That gave me a bit of a chuckle when I saw that for the first time. But it does look like this will be the end of his men. But it was a good game. Gave me some tactical struggles. I think his main mistakes were to engage with his Egyptian Cav against my superior saucy Equites. He did a nice job with the hill. Obviously had a pretty good starting position. Made good use of it. But then when I came over here, he might have, if he planned on playing defensively, wanted to retreat to these woods here, hold that hill. Make my job a little bit more difficult. But anyways, hope you guys have enjoyed this battle. Let's take a quick look at unit stats. So as you can see, his Egyptian Cav were just outmatched. And although this Tallmate Cav probably got some nice kills on the charge, it ended up not being too effective because he charged in a place where he allowed himself to be trapped. If he brought it around to that right flank, that was kind of a more isolated fight, it might have met with a little bit more success. I could have wrapped up that flank and then maybe rolled in on the rest of my infantry. But yeah, as I said, I hope you guys enjoyed this video, and I will see you all next time.